Rolling to the basket. Alexander lays it in.
Nice job by Kayla Alexander.
She just had an unbelievable work ethic. Like, she was always outside working on the court. I knew she was going to be good.
She worked for every minute that she got on the court. She earned it.
Alexander is open, and Alexander connects.
Nice job, Kayla Alexander.
While Kayla Alexander's best known for her skills on the basketball court, the Milton, Ontario native's exploits off the hardwood are transcending the sport.
The things that she has done that are going to help the next generation are just amazing to me.
For anyone who's met Kayla, she's one of the nicest, most genuine human beings you'll ever meet.
Kayla didn't come by her basketball skills naturally, but has a childhood friend to thank for introducing her to the sport.
I met Kayla in grade 7. I was always very tall and the tallest girl. So when Kayla and her family came to my school, I saw Kayla and I was like, oh my gosh, there's someone taller than me.
I just remember her coming up to me and inviting me to a basketball tryout for the Bay Royals. I just remember going, it was 3 days of tryouts and I was having fun, but I didn't know what in the world I was doing.
I feel like I was there and I saw firsthand her stinking up the place. She was not a good player. She was tall and that was it.
At the end of the tryouts, to mine and everybody's surprise, I meet the team. And between Nicole and Monique Kovacs and Keith Macy, the other assistant coach, giving me a chance, that started my basketball career, and that's how I started my lifelong friendship with Nicole.
Though Kayla's introduction to hoops may not have been something to write home about, she eventually progressed to Syracuse University, the WNBA, and representing Canada at the highest level. The magic of her basketball journey was a story worth sharing.
Today, I'll be reading my debut children's book that I co-authored with my sister Kesia called The Magic of Basketball. A little fun fact, this story is actually my true life journey with the game of basketball and how I started when I was a little girl and wasn't very good and struggled to even dribble the ball to where I am today.
Kayla's always wanted to write a children's book. She's always talked about it, especially with her background in education. So when she did start coming up with ideas, she would just bounce them off me, and then eventually she got to the point where she had kind of like an outline for this book.
Gift number 1 came before her introduction to the sport, the lifelong friend who first put her on a court.
Kayla's always been really artistic, so to see her kind of bring that side of her interests and pair it with basketball, and also Kayla's always been very passionate about mentoring young girls, whether it's in sports or outside of sports. To see those 3 things kind of come together in the magic of basketball is really, really cool.
There isn't a lot of diversity in literature, so to have a female Black character that is focusing on a sports story as well, that was just like very important because it is Kayla's story. So like Kayla is just like an inspiration for young girls coming up and like someone that they can look to and see like it's not just fiction, like this actually happened and she made that happen and you can make your dreams happen too.
Gift number 9 was being able to travel worldwide, playing on many teams and representing Canada with pride. I truly do believe in the magic of basketball and that it's so much bigger than putting the ball in the hoop or learning how to dribble. Like, basketball just gives you so much, and if you're willing to respect the sport and give to the sport, it will give you more than you'll ever imagine.
Good job, Kayla!
The early faith shown to Kayla when she began playing basketball centered on her height. But what was a gift in sport was a challenge for a young female trying to find a comfortable wardrobe. That's where she teamed up with her lifelong friend and sister once again.
So when it came to my height, thankfully because of my parents and they were tall, I always loved my height. But when it came to clothes and filling out a wardrobe, that was difficult. Didn't really enjoy the whole shopping process because you go into a store and you'd see something really cute that you liked and then it didn't fit or it didn't come in my size, so that was really frustrating.
I think for women in particular, society tells us that we're supposed to be small and petite and all of this, right? And so when you live in a body that is not that, it can be challenging. Kayla is always the first person that comes to mind as someone who's taller than me. So I just called her right away and I was like, this is a thing, right? Like this is a problem. The impact it has on self-image, body image, all of that stuff with women. So we felt like super passionate to start tackling the problem.
When we first started researching and came up with this idea for Tall Size, we were like amazed to find out just how many tiny little brands there are that do exist that sell tall clothing, but because they're so small, there's not a lot of marketing. So just being able to provide that platform where tall girls and women know that they can come here and find stuff that fits.
We were really on a mission to build like the biggest community for tall women to kind of come together, whether it's clothing or just being each other's energy, just to really kind of uplift all tall women and just remind them that it's all good. Being tall is amazing.
I love the community that we're building. We're bringing tall women together who share the same struggles. Some have not yet learned to love their height and the bodies that they're in. Others have, and I love that we can like encourage each other and one another.
Seeing the ways that Kayla has taken this sport and like made it so much bigger and moved it beyond the basketball court into the libraries and onto their clothing racks hopefully soon and beyond, it's very inspirational.